This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN.Network. And joining me right now is Adam Levy. He is the CEO of NexGel. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is NXGL on NASDAQ. And NexGel will be presenting at our upcoming in-person investor conference, the Planet MicroCap Showcase, happening May 3rd through 5th, 2022 at Bally's Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. For more information to register and see NexGel present, or meet with them one-on-one, please go to www.planetmicrocapshowcase.com. And with that, Adam, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
Good, great. Thank you, Robert. Thanks for having me.
This is our first time doing an interview together, so I'd love to start off. Can you provide us with a quick overview and history of NexGel?
So NexGel was originally part of a larger wound care company called Aliqua Biomedical, and this was the foundational hub when they first formed Aliqua. Aliqua then moved in a different direction. So NexGel has been a hydrogel manufacturing facility. That's what we do, but we make a very particular type of hydrogels. So most hydrogels are cross-linked. They're high water content mixes of water and polymer. They're cross-linked using chemical initiators and UV light. We don't use that. We use an electron-beam accelerator, which is kind of the screenshot you can see behind me. And we use that energy to allow us to cross-link using nothing but water and polymer. So what we get is an incredibly sensitive to the skin, super high water content, up to 95% water hydrogel, which is an excellent transport mechanism. It's an excellent cooling mechanism. It has multiple applications across medical devices. And in fact, that's what this company was prior to my arriving here, was a company that manufactured components to other people's medical devices.
Got it. So what would you say makes NexGel unique and different compared to some of your peers out there? I mean, is this a commoditized product? Is this your own IP? And if it is commoditized, who are the elephants in the room?
So the process is old and well understood, so it is not a proprietary process. However, there are only 2 facilities that we are aware of that can manufacture these types of hydrogels in the world. And one of them is owned by, believe it or not, one of our customers. So they don't do contract manufacturing. They haven't moved into the spaces that we've moved into. They are a large multinational and most assuredly will not unless we have enormous success. And in fact, they are our customers. So we actually make certain gels for them that we have the sort of know-how to make. And so they're actually a customer of ours. And what separates us is we are now taking this technology and for the first time applying it to new verticals. And that was my job when I became CEO in 2019, was to expand and grow the business. And we identified 3 areas to do that. One being to develop our own medical devices and therefore move up the food chain. The other was a custom label program, which is met with a great deal of enthusiasm and success. And what custom label basically is we go to someone who has an existing and successful product line. They may have a lotion, a gel, for a wide variety of applications, eczema, wrinkles, general skin care, whatever that may be. And we can now, for the first time, allow them to deliver that product in a patch as a line extension. So, all the risk goes on them. They pay us a development fee to create a patch for them. But because we don't use the chemical initiators, because we can adhere without using harsh adhesives, we are very often the only suitable solution if they want a patch. And so that's created a great deal of excitement. And the third is really kind of born of COVID. It was not my intention to originally start with our own branded products right away. As you know, consumers are fickle. Brands can be expensive and risky to try to build. But during COVID, we sort of were stuck in this period where we couldn't really get in touch with anyone. So we put out our own products in mid to late 2020. And that has actually done and exceeded our expectations in terms of success. We now have 10 SKUs on Amazon with growth in sales month over month, every month.
Very good. And what's your background? How did you come into all this?
So my background, for 28 years, I ran my own business. It was a roll-up strategy in music and copyrights, as well as marketing. So I kind of set my, got myself started in consumer products and understanding the consumer, doing that. And we sold a variety of products, a lot of it on television. So direct marketing to consumers. I sold that business in 2009. And I reconnected through an investment that I was in with a buddy of mine who has been an investment banker since 1984. And he suggested I try my hand at that. And I really enjoyed that because instead of running one business for 28 years, I now was looking at multiple businesses and trying to understand what their challenges were, where their pain points were, and whether or not that made them a reasonable investment for someone to invest in. Along the way, I ran into this facility. And in 2019, was given the opportunity to be the CEO, which has now come full circle. Now I'm focused on one business again. So I'm really excited about the opportunity.
Very cool. All right. So then to close us out here, from what you can tell us, what would you say are some of the company's value catalysts now going for the rest of 2022?
So our medical device program has its first product that we filed worldwide patents on, called the NexDrape. It's a surgical incise drape. It was developed by one of our SAB board members, who's an orthopedic spinal surgeon. He came to our facility one day and touched one of our very sticky gels, which also is used in medical device applications. And he had some issues with the surgical drapes, the leading brand that's in the market. And on removal, those can be very harsh to the skin. They can tear the skin. And that's obviously counterproductive to what you're trying to do in preventing infection, right? You don't want to open up a new wound, because now that wound is open and susceptible to infection. So we developed the NexDrape. We did 2 cadaver studies and an animal study. We are now engaged with the agency and have begun the 510(k) process. And we think that there's a lot of exciting devices that we can create that will improve any place a medical device interfaces with the human skin. And so our second product will be sort of a tegaderm replacement for those with fragile and compromised skin. And this, by the way, is a big category. Anyone over the age of 70, 75, people on blood thinners like Eliquis, diabetics, people in trauma. It's a large segment of the addressable market for surgical drapes and or IVs, colostomy bags. There's lots of places that this application is applicable. So the other side is, this is an excellent drug delivery mechanism, both transdermally and topically. So we are beginning proof of concept studies on some compounds that were selected by my scientific advisory board. And so that data will kind of guide us in a direction of which way to go. One of the things that's important to note is that, especially on the medical device and the drug delivery side, we will not be commercializing any of these products. We've approached the multinationals early. We've shown them what they're doing. We've gauged their interest level before we build it. But our model is to sell it to them or license it to them and collect a royalty. We're not going to go out and try to compete. In this particular space, you're talking about the biggest companies in the world. We really don't want to try to outmarket them or compete with them. I think you'll see some really nice supply agreements soon with our custom and white label manufacturing business, those line extensions that I talked about. And finally, you'll see continued growth in our consumer product side on the branded products on Amazon. So all three look pretty bright for us, and that's really where we're going to drive our growth.
Absolutely. It's time to get out there, right?
Yep,
Time. So with that, Adam, where can our audience go and find more information on NexGel?
So our website is an excellent source of how the technology works. We do have a branded store called MetaGel on Amazon, which houses all of so MetaGel brand will have all of our OTC sort of remedies. Think fever patches, blister prevention, burn and minor wound care, those types of products. And in the second half of 2022, we'll be launching Lumigel, which will be our beauty brand. So face masks, under eye, all of that kind of stuff. And those stores and websites will have their own specific information on those specific products.
Got it. All right. Well, with that, Adam, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. And I'll see you soon in Vegas.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you.
Take care.